Hey guys, I'm RozaldVane, and welcome back to another episode of The Longest Journey. Where we last left off was we finally got to Chapter 9 of The Longest Journey, and we basically met with this sort of underwater god character thing, and it sent us, he or it or they sent us to this ship with dark people in it, and dark people just gave us a ticket to Mercuria, but Mercuria was already like sort of abandoned. And there was like something happening in the background, but then something attacked us and we went through a portal, and now we're back to Stark, which is the cyber futuristic city that we were from at the beginning of the game, which has been a while since we last been in the cyberistic future setting that we were at before. All right,
It's Father Raoul.
Talk to Father Raoul. I remember, I want to say that we do remember, if anything, people might have forgotten, but Cortez was caught by the guards, and Cortez was in the church, I believe, the last time we saw him, when he got caught. And now he's being used to experiment for something in Stark. I'm not sure what it is yet. We'll probably figure that out with Father Raoul.
Father Raoul, where is Cortez? I thought he'd be here.
I haven't seen Cortez for a week, and it worries me. He usually stops by once every few days.
When did you last see him?
When did you last see Cortez?
It must have been, I think it was last Sunday. Exactly 1 week today. He's been gone longer than that before, but this time
What?
This time I have a feeling there's something wrong. I don't like that feeling.
At least he's giving us a straightforward answer, I guess, maybe? No, I feel like Father Raoul works for the government, or the I forgot what the soldiers or the evil corporation is in this particular society.
Is there anything you're not telling me, Father Raoul?
I don't know what you,
Yes, you do. You're no ordinary priest. You know about Stark and Arcadia, about the balance, and I'm sure you know a lot more about Cortez than you're willing to let on.
How did you...
I heard you and Cortez talking last Sunday, and it scares me. And pisses me off to think that you're using me, that you're keeping things from me. I thought for sure that I could trust Cortez, but as it turns out, I can't. I was hoping to confront him with this, but he's not around, and you're part of it too, aren't you?
Oof.
April, you have to trust me when I tell you.
Sorry, I can't trust anybody anymore. There's so much at stake, and I don't know who to trust, Father. Please, tell me what you know.
Wait, what?
I'm sorry, April. I mean, I'm sorry you don't feel like you can trust anyone anymore, and I'm sorry that I don't know more than I do. But I will try to answer your questions honestly and openly as much as I can.
Interesting. It's funny because she's like, I can't trust anyone anymore, but yet I want answers from you, kind of thing. Because then if you don't trust him, why would you ever ask him the questions and have an answer that feels truthful to what you want? So don't say that, I think that line was pretty not good in telling him what it tells him how you feel, but it doesn't straightforwardly tell the guy that you actually trust him with his answers.
Who is Cortez?
What do you mean?
The way people react when I mention his name, the fact that he seems to have been alive for a very long time, and that he knows as much as he does. Who is he?
It's funny, but I've been asking that very same question myself many, many times. Who is this man? He's old, yes, and powerful. He has strong magic, but he rarely lets on exactly how strong he is.
Interesting.
He prefers to be considered eccentric, crazy even. They are both excellent disguises.
So he only knows that Cortez is a very powerful being with magic, but he has not shown too much. But yeah, that doesn't answer who Cortez might be to Father Raoul. I don't know.
You still haven't answered my question about Cortez.
Yeah.
That's because I cannot answer. I just don't know. He found me when I first came here. You see, I'm not just a Catholic priest. I'm also a sentinel, a minstrel.
You're a minstrel?
Yes. Do you find that strange?
How can you belong to two religions at the same time?
Belief in the balance and belief in God are not mutually exclusive.
Really?
The Sentinel Order was founded on the basis of protecting the balance, not to worship a higher power. As long as our devotion to whatever God we believe in doesn't conflict with our duty to the balance, and vice versa, who is to say we can't work in the best interest of both?
I guess. I just always thought of the Sentinel as its own faith.
Yeah.
It is a faith, but a faith in something less than God, yet more than magic or the laws of nature. The balance was created by someone, was it not?
I guess.
Nor do I. But I believe. I have faith. That's enough.
Interesting. So he has faith in something he doesn't have full comprehension about, but knows what it is used for, because the sort of balance rules, he just basically believes in the rules and the balance idea rather than so much to question it, I guess. And I guess that kind of works out in a way that's closer to the religious kind of field, where it's like sometimes people believe it to the point where they don't need to really question it sometimes, but then sometimes you have to question it to kind of believe in it fully. Like, how do you know it's a sound belief when you can't answer all the questions that needs to be asked to get a full grasp about the whole thing? I guess that's how I usually put it. It's just like, if I believe in something, I need to have enough questions to be answered and that I can feel comfortable rather than not. And I think people have different comfortable levels on what they believe in, so or that it might go against them, I guess, in a sense, and that happens too. Anyways, yeah, how would you become a Sentinel Minstrel without having to be in Arcadia, I guess? Because Arcadia is the only one who always talks about balance, while Stark doesn't really often ever talk about the balance, ever, besides the time Cortez shows up to your face and says, hey, there's a balance. Hey, there's a balance.
How did you become a Sentinel Minstrel?
Yeah, I'm curious about that.
The Sentinel are not numerous in Stark. Not yet. Not with the Vanguard, the Church of Voltec, keeping a watchful eye and striking down anyone who dares to proclaim their faith in the balance.
Oh,
But the
interesting.
Sentinel are here, and when they find someone who they believe will be sympathetic to their cause, they approach them. That's what happened to me.
They asked you to join?
No, they told me the truth. I was studying theology at the time, and I found scriptures that challenged conventional wisdoms, made me question the validity of my faith. But once I learned the truth about the balance and the Guardian and the ongoing war with the Vanguard, it became easier to believe in God again, because now things made sense. And so, in the end, I chose to become not only a priest, but a minstrel. And I don't regret my decision.
Honestly, I just think that it's an interesting... Honestly, I feel like this point in the conversation, I realize how interesting the world building stuff are like. I think I've previously didn't take it seriously enough. I think that it was hard to grasp everything because of how there's so many different characters, there's so many different things to go through, and yet, like, I don't really think twice about the world building until just now, because Father Raoul is, like, from a different dimension, I guess I would say. Because I think that the way to convince me that this world building of two different realms are smart and cool and awesome is by telling me that both realms understand each other. So far, Arcadia has been isolated in its own world, which is fine, and it has a lot more to learn about. But in Stark, it felt so isolated. It was also isolated, but it was so weird, and it didn't really go anywhere with the whole Arcadia idea, besides through the lens of Cortez. It was okay, but it wasn't really that much interesting. But then they were pushing so much, or leaning so much of the interest into Arcadia, that it made it hard for me to really feel like there was anything interesting where Arcadia getting involved with Stark was something that perceives as interesting. But now Father Raoul kind of confirms it, that there are some people who are their belief in the Arcadian, like, nature of balance and laws of that kind of form is also being replicated here, and I think that's where I'm waiting for that sort of, where does Arcadia where are the Arcadian laws and rules influence Stark in terms of how they work or how they operate as a either religious or like sort of like life-based form, like for their lives, like stuff like how does it work for their principles. That's why I was worried that it wasn't getting there, and I was just like, it's just going nowhere. But he's kind of quell my worries for a time here. So anyways, have you been to Arcadia?
Have you ever been to Arcadia?
No, I'm not a shifter. I'm stuck here, unfortunately. I don't mind. I've been fortunate enough to read most of the scriptures of the balance. And that in itself is a rare privilege for a Starker like me.
True. Yeah, because there's not a lot of Arcadian knowledge to pass through Stark much. Only through Cortez or a few number of people who can pass through it. But very few.
What did you mean when you said Cortez found you?
One day, he came to visit me here. He knew who I was, that I was a minstrel, and that I was devoted to restoring the balance as well as to my guide. We soon became good friends. He was very worried about the imminent collapse of the balance, yet told me that he was waiting for someone special, someone who might be able to help us.
April.
Me?
Yeah.
Yes. He waited for a long time for you to show up, and when you did, it was hard for him trying to convince you that he wasn't crazy. I guess his disguise was too good.
Indeed.
I don't know much more than that. Cortez tells me very little. Only that you're the key to the survival of the balance. I can only assume that you're the new guardian?
That's what I've been told. Not by Cortez, of course.
No. I understand your frustration, but I cannot help you any more than I have. If there's anything at all.
Thanks, Father. But you've done enough.
It feels like I've done nothing. But God be with you. And the balance too.
I don't have any more questions right now.
Okay.
If you do, please ask. I want to help. And that's the truth.
Okay. Still don't know about that. How are things here?
How are things here?
You mean in the cathedral?
Yeah, baby.
No, I mean here in Newport.
Oh.
How have things been going?
It's been a week, yeah?
Nothing out of the ordinary. Why? Have you been away?
Yes, sirree.
You could say that, yeah.
It's just been hot and humid, and it's getting worse by the day. And apparently crime is on the rise. But what else is new?
Alright. I think that's pretty much all the questions we have, or all the entry points that we can ask him about the world so far. But yeah, I'm surprised it's only been a week since we disappeared. And I'm guessing when we were in Arcadia, we were there for more than a week, feeling like it. I feel like we were there for like 2 weeks in total. So maybe it's like... I'm feeling like it was 2 weeks. I might be wrong. But I think it's about 2 weeks long since we were in the other realm in Arcadia. So we probably was there in like... Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it might be 1 week that we were in there. I don't even know. It feels like it was longer in Arcadia versus here so far.
I have to run, Father.
I hope to see you again soon, April. Please take care of yourself. And if you see Cortez, tell him to see me. Tell him that I've been worried.
All right. Well, I mean, I trust that he is right.
It's the confessional.
I want to go in there.
No, not today.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, let's get out of here. Well, there we go. Yeah, I'm surprised that we're able to go through here, I guess. There we are. I was like, where the hell am I? But it looks like there's nobody on the street anymore. Yeah, there's nobody on the street so far. Yeah, usually there would be 1 or 2 people around here. I think that's a person? No, that's not a person at all. Yeah, there's not a single person on the street. Alright. I'm guessing we're heading back home for now.
I really should go home and change into something that doesn't make me look like a medieval restorationist.
I agree. I forgot that she was actually wearing the Arcadian
I
clothing.
wonder what the homeless people do in the wintertime. Supposedly, it gets biting cold here in Newport, and I don't know if there are any shelters anymore.
Alright, let's get going. Yeah, let's change out our clothes for the time being. My assumption is that we'll probably get caught up with something at the apartments when we get back. Like, we'll change our clothes and then we'll get caught up with something crazy, I bet. Because I don't think there's much going on either in the Newport stuff. Like, there's not a lot of space to go to. Unless it's on the purpose of doing something incredibly crazy, but yeah. Another thing I want to point out is that I want more of Stark. I feel like it's just that we don't get a lot of time in Stark, and I feel like there's a lot more to Stark that we just haven't explored. I guess I'm a kind of person who's interested in the sci-fi city stuff because I don't really often see them. Like Cyberpunk 2077 is kind of cool and all, but it's just like, huh?
What's going on here?
April, run! Get out of here!
Why?
What's the...
Run, April, now!
I wouldn't listen to her if I were you. Move over there.
Oh, we got caught by...
I said move.
Who the hell is this? And why is she crying?
Emma, who's this man? Tell me what's going on.
Yeah.
Who are you? What do you want?
He's just following orders, Miss Ryan. He's just a servant. My servant.
The reveal of who's this?
I was hoping you would join our little party. You're a very difficult person to find, Miss Ryan. A very difficult person to find.
What are you doing to my friends?
If you cooperate, nothing. Nothing permanent, at any rate.
Ooh.
But if you make this any harder than it has to be, I will have your friends shot. All of them.
Did he kill somebody already in the house, I'm guessing?
What do you... Do I know you? I know you. I've seen your face somewhere.
My name is Halloway. Gordon Halloway. I work for Jacob McAllen, who I am certain you have heard of, yes? He runs the Church of Voltec, also known as the Vanguard.
Oh no.
He has been insisting on meeting you, Miss Ryan. Of course, we were not sure who you were at first, but we knew we would find you in Venice. You did give us a run for our money, I must admit. Your shift a week ago today made it a lot easier, but then you decided to stay out of town for a while. Smart. Coming back, though, was rather stupid.
Honestly, we didn't actually know that our shift was getting anywhere. Like, we didn't even partake in thinking about shifting on purpose. These guys just thought that we did it on purpose, knowing that they were coming, but we just conveniently had it happen.
What do you want from me?
We want you, and what you carry with you. We have our connections in Arcadia. We know of your journey north. Good job on our friend Mr. Clax, by the way. Good job. Very impressive.
This
Of
guy
course,
sounds very
Not
weird.
to mention the fine work you did on that Gribbler creature. She was not very cooperative. She just refused to listen to reason. But she was a twisted old girl, and we respected that. Unfortunately, we lost track of you once you set out to sea. The Tyran are not very comfortable with water, and so there was no chance of sending anyone after you. However, with your good fortune and, shall we say, good breeding,
Ew.
I am certain you brought some valuable items back with you. I would expect no less from a bright and industrious girl such as yourself. So, give me what you have and let us be done with this nasty business. I will let your friends go, and then you and I will go on a little trip.
I hate the speech, the way he's talking. I just hate it a lot. Honestly, man. It's the slow and calm bullcrap that just makes me angry every time. I don't know, it's just, I don't know. Like, sometimes it works for me, but sometimes this kind of thing doesn't work well for me. It makes sense because villainous people are like, I'm very villainous, you know. I gotta gun that could kill your friends, you know? I think I'd love it. That they squirm in pain. It's just, I really hate it. It's just, I mean, when I do it, it's easy to just feel like less painful to hear it. But I think hearing it is worse than saying things out of it. But also, it makes no sense that they have people on the other side relaying messages to them. But I think it's because they utilized Cortez already. Like, they utilizes Cortez's, like, ability to do things. But honestly, even if they have a hold of the items, they're not going to do anything much with them. They can't really, because they're on the other side. Arcadia is the only way you can use them properly.
There's nothing I have that you could possibly want.
And that's kind of true, I think.
Leave that decision to me, Miss Ryan. Just hand it all over, and we can let these fine people return to their pathetic little lives.
Oof.
You have caused them enough pain, yes?
I don't
But
think
first,
so.
we still need to teach you and your friends a lesson. Shoot that one.
No!
Emma!
No! Oh god,
What
no.
the hell is going on?
Bro, no! Oh god. Oh, he's gonna block my way, isn't it? This guy's gonna block my way. Why do you have to block my way, Zach? What is wrong with you? Zach, what are you doing?
Get out of my way, Zach.
Where are you going, April? Don't you know the game's up?
What game, Zach? They're trying to kill me. They just shot Emma.
Who did?
The agents, the Vanguard.
But they said they weren't really gonna hurt nobody. They were just gonna.
They
Screw
said,
you,
what do
Zach.
mean? You spoke with them?
Yeah, he's the
No. I
he's
mean,
the betrayer.
they were just
He
gonna
betrayed
arrest
us.
You and
You bastard! You sold me out?
Yeah.
You killed Emma? Do you know that? You killed my best friend!
Yeah, he did.
I didn't.
Screw you. You're next, Zach. I'd rather you die. Yep, you're next. I don't give a crap about you, Zach. You deserve to die, Zach.
Zach, are you...
No,
Shit.
just leave him. Just go, April. Get in your room. Jesus. Who cares about Zach? Zach deserved to die anyways, because he's... Zach deserved to die, because he's
If you
stupid.
don't open, we'll break down the door.
Okay, is the closet still intact with the portal?
Let's do it. Take it down.
Bunch of useless old drawings. My suitcase.
Okay.
When fame and wealth come knocking, I'll buy a wardrobe the size of an ocean liner and fill it with clothes for $1 million.
This is
Right
exciting.
now, I'll try to focus on my work.
This is exciting.
An empty cardboard box. When fame and wealth come knocking, I'll buy...
Oh god, that door breaking is
I got
really
those
scary.
posters from the cafe.
Can we get out from here?
Oh god, this is not gonna be fun, but I don't have a choice. Close your eyes, April!
We're going down to the water.
Shit!
We're getting into the water. Man, we lose 2 people in like one sitting. This is ridiculous. Ugh. I'm wondering if the breathing underwater thing translates to this area though. Like, can we breathe underwater as well? Oh no, the guy's right there, isn't it? Okay, now what next? I like how there's a sliver of red. Do we just...
Oh shit. Somebody's watching the entrance. There's no way I'm getting by without him seeing me. But there's no other way out of here either.
True. That's the unfortunate part. So what do we have in our inventory that could help? Oh, invisibility potion is with us. Mind magic, invisibility. I can't believe our magic stuff is still with us. This is hilarious. I can't believe the magical stuff is still with us. And it works here too. This is hilarious to me.
Who's there? I know somebody's there. I can hear you.
Okay. April?
Probably just a sewer rat.
Keep going, April. Why do you stop? go. Who cares about what he thinks? He's a dumbass. That's all we could care about.
I got my body back. That was a close call, though. If I'd been caught, don't want to think about what would have happened.
Yeah, they would have kidnapped us and kept us as is. And take our stuff, honestly. So now what? Do we just go to the cafe and, like, look out for some problems to deal with? Like, maybe talk to Charlie, I think is the guy's name? Man, that sucks that Emma dies. And Zach, I don't give a crap about. I think he deserved to die for ratting us out. But what would have happened if he... Actually, no, I think they might have still made the story where Zach would have betrayed us anyways, I think. Give or take. Because I think they would have probably approached him first and, like, asked him, like, about questions. Oh, God, how is he here? Oh, God, there's more of them. Why? How is there so many of them? These guys are so weird.
What's
Oh, there's a
that?
portal.
The mystery door. It's open.
Go! April, go! Oh? Where is this? Are those guys gonna follow through, though?
I'm guessing... I'm pretty sure, actually. I'm not in Venice anymore. Now I know how Alice and Dorothy felt.
Yeah, baby. Interesting. So that door teleportation thing was meant to be for us to get out of there, I guess. It's interesting that those guys can't follow us through, though. That's another big one. Alright, cool. I'll end it here for now in this episode. So far exciting. Really crazy stuff going on right now. I'm surprised that we were able to, like, get out of that without having too much issues. Yeah, so thank you guys for watching. See you guys in the next episode of Nobody Minds. Hope you guys have a great, amazing day. Good night to everyone watching this. So far exciting stuff going on. Getting chased by the stupid idiots of Vanguards, but at least we got away from them. But we lost Emma. Don't care about Zach, but we lost him anyways. Guy sold us out like it was like there was no punishment. Oh, I promised. They promised they weren't gonna kill them. Screw you, dude. Zach, you just pain in the butt all the way through and through, no matter what. This guy's been a pain in the butt throughout the whole story. He just hasn't even given any redeeming values to himself. I'm just so sad that this guy was just the pain in the butt. I bet if I even went on the date with him, it would have not changed anything to make Zach look any better. Zach would have been like a garbage person to hang out with still. But, oh well. I mean, I don't really care about Zach. I cared about Emma because she didn't look like a bad person. But her death kind of feels a little bit sad because it's like she hung out with April for the most part of the game, and we've like gotten to know her a little bit more. But unfortunately, due to the fact that we don't hang out with her too much, I kind of tend to feel like, or I partly feel like we've sort of have a disconnect with her, I guess, after quite some time before the last time we've met her, which was many chapters ago and many episodes ago. So I've forgotten a lot about how Emma was, but I do know that she was like a nice person and she didn't deserve that death in general. But oh well, that's how it goes. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. That's it for this episode. Next episode we'll go ahead and see where we teleported to for Arcadia, and we'll meet this nice granny, hopefully. If she's a nice granny, we'll see. But other than that, Roz out.